All right, I'm going to be reading from this book, Leadership Northouse. I'm going to be on page 58. This is chapter 3. This is page 58, Criticisms, right after Strengths. Like all other approaches to leadership, the skills approach also has certain weaknesses. First, the breadth of the skills approach seems to extend beyond the boundaries of leadership. For example, by including motivation, critical thinking, personality, and conflict resolution, the skills approach addresses more than just leadership. Another example of the model's breadth is its inclusion of two types of intelligence: general cognitive ability and crystallized cognitive ability. Although both areas are studied widely in the field of cognitive psychology, they are seldom addressed in leadership research. By including so many components, the skills model of Mumford and others became more general and less precise in explaining leadership performance. Second, related to the first criticism, the skills model is weak in predictive value. It does not explain specifically how variations in social judgment skills and problem-solving skills affect performance. The model suggests that these components are related, but it does not describe with any precision just how that works. In short, the model can be faltered because it does not explain how skills lead to effective leadership performance. In addition, the skills approach can be criticized for claiming not to be a trait model when, in fact, a major component in the model includes individual attributes which are trait-like. Although Mumford and colleagues describe cognitive abilities, motivation, and personality variables as factors contributing to competencies, these are also factors that are typically considered to be trait variables. The point is that the individual attributes component of the skills model is trait-driven, and that shifts the model away from being strictly a skills approach to leadership. The final criticism of the skills approach is that it may not be suitably or appropriately applied to other contexts of leadership. The skills model was constructed by using a large sample of military personnel and observing their performance in the armed services. This raises an obvious question. Can the results be generalized to other populations or organizational settings? Although some research suggests that these Army findings can be generalized to other groups, Mumford, Zuccaro, Connolly, and others in 2000, more research is needed to address this criticism. Application. Despite its appeal to theorists and academics, the skills approach has not been widely used in applied leadership settings. For example, there are no training packages designed specifically to teach people leadership skills for this approach. Although many programs have been designed to teach leadership skills from a general self-help orientation, few of these programs are based on the conceptual framework set forth in this chapter. Despite the lack of formal training programs, the skills approach offers valuable information about leadership. The approach provides a way to delineate the skills of a leader, and the leaders at all levels in an organization can use it. In addition, this approach helps us to identify our strengths and weaknesses in regard to these technical, human, and conceptual skills. By taking a skills inventory, such as the one provided at the end of this chapter, people can gain further insight into their own leadership competencies. Their scores allow them to learn about areas in which they may want to seek further training to enhance their overall contributions to their organization. From a wider perspective, the skills approach may be used in the future as a template for the design of extensive leadership development programs. This approach provides evidence for teaching leaders the importance of aspects of listening, creative problem solving, conflict resolution, and much more. Very good. So that ends on page 60. And then it has a bunch of case studies. And yeah, what are we at? Cool. Let's do the summary. This is on page 69. The skills approach is a leader-centered perspective that emphasizes the competency of a leader. It is best represented in the early work of Katz in 1955 on the three-skill approach in the most recent work of Mumford and his colleagues, Mumford, Zuccaro, Harding, and others in 2000. who initiated the development of a comprehensive skills model of leadership. In the three-skill approach, effective leadership depends on three basic personal skills: technical, human, and conceptual. Although all three skills are important for leaders, the importance of each skill varies between management levels. At lower management levels, technical and human skills are most important. For middle managers, the three different skills are equally important. At upper management levels, conceptual and human skills are most important, and technical skills become less important. Leaders are more effective when their skills match their management level. In the 1990s, skills models was developed to explain the capabilities, knowledge, and skills that make effective leadership possible. Far more complex than Katz's paradigm, this model delineated 5 components of effective leadership: performance, competencies, individual attributes, leadership outcomes, career experiences, and environmental influences. The leader competencies at the heart of the model are problem-solving skills, social judgment skills, and knowledge. These competencies are directly affected by the leader's individual attributes, which include the leader's general cognitive ability, crystallized cognitive ability, motivation, and personality. The leader's competencies are also affected by his or her career experiences and the environment. The model postulates that effective problem solving and performance can be explained by the leader's basic competencies, and that these competencies are in turn affected by the leader's attributes, experiences, and environment. There are several strengths in conceptualized lean leadership from a skills perspective. First, it is a leader-centered model that stresses the importance of the leader's abilities, and it places learned skills at the center of effective leadership performance. Second, skills approach describes leadership in such a way that it makes it available to everyone. Skills are competencies that we all can learn to develop and improve. Third, the skills approach provides a sophisticated map that explains how effective leadership performance can be achieved. Based on the model, researchers can develop complex plans for studying the leadership process. Last, this approach provides a structure for leadership education and development programs that include creative problem solving, conflict resolution, and listening and teamwork. In addition to positive features, there are some negative aspects to skilled approach. First, the breadth of the model seems to extend beyond the boundaries of leadership, including, for example, conflict management, critical thinking, motivation theory, and personality theory. Second, the skills model is weak in predictive value. It does not explain how a person's competencies lead to effective leadership performance. Third, the skills model claimed not to be a trait approach. Nevertheless, individual traits such as cognitive abilities, motivation, and personality play a large role in the model. Finally, the skills model is weak in general application because it was constructed using data only from the military personnel. Until the model has been tested with other populations, such as small and large organizations and businesses, its basic tenets must still be questioned. Cool, that's the summary on page 70, alright, for chapter 3, Leadership Theory and Practice. See ya.